Hello Chelsea fans, hello the Barcelona fans, you're welcome to the channel. So today we're talking about Champions League football, and Champions League is back. So Chelsea will be taking on Barcelona at Stamford Bridge. A lot of people are super excited, a lot of Chelsea fans are super excited about that game. Now, it kind of would be a clash of styles. We all know the high pressing, gang pressing style of play of Hansi Flick, and we also know the more methodical style of play of an Enzo Maresca. Now, a lot of Chelsea fans have a craving for this. We want to play against this high line of Barcelona. We want to play against this high line of Barcelona. Yeah. Are you sure? There's something on the other end of the high line, which is the high press. And there's some things I've seen the likes of Tussle do in games like Burnley, the Burnley match. I've seen do in other games as well, where Badiashile, Tussle, Fofana will be on the ball and wait till you have the opposition striker or forward player right in their face, right in their grill, standing on their neck before they choose to pass the ball. If Chelsea decides to go that way with Barcelona, it's going to be a torrid night for Chelsea. Of course, I want Chelsea to win. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to mollycoddle these players and make people feel like, oh, everything is hunky-dory, super perfect. If you want to win against Barcelona, you need to play quick out of the back. 1-2 pass in behind, 1-2 pass in behind, because they're going to press you, and their own defensive style, defensive structure, philosophy is to constantly catch you offside. That's how they play. So the more touches you take, the more likely that your players, the likes of Estevao Willian, Cole Palmer, if indeed he plays, because apparently he started training right now, would be offside. João, Pedro Neto, they will be caught offside. That's how Barcelona wants to play. That's their whole style. We're going to press you so high, and then we're going to catch you offside. And on the flip side, on the other side of that sort of high line, is a high press. That means if you're taking one too many touches at the back, you would lose possession to likes of maybe Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, Pedro, Gavi, the likes, and then they're just a couple of inches away from your goal, and you consider a quick goal. So Chelsea going into this, the kind of how Chelsea played against Brighton, I think 2 seasons ago, I think that's how Chelsea should play against Barcelona. Of course, in a more refined, cultured way, but that should be the basis of how Chelsea plays. That should be the foundation, which is we're going to hold the ball, quick pass. You go to, as you want to press us, from a Barcelona perspective, you press us. We're going to put the ball in behind you and use our pity player like your Neto, use your pity player like your Garnacho, and get him behind. A lot of people have been going, we want to go with Gittins. No, you don't. You don't want to go with Gittins. Playing against Barcelona, you do not want a player that is really lacking confidence. Now, I was critical about Chelsea signing Garnacho. I was hypercritical of him because I don't just see him as that super special winger that is going to be a game changer. But ever since he joined Chelsea, he's shown to have more about him than Gittins. I know you all love Gittins, right? You love him. He's a good boy and all, which is good. It's good to be a good boy. Maybe someone you can have over at your home for dinner or for lunch because he's a nice person. If you're on the younger crew, maybe you can go out and chill with him. It's a nice person. But when it comes to playing on the pitch, you need to make your opponent feel like, I'm going to eat you up on this pitch. I'm going to make you look silly on this pitch, especially for a winger. You don't have to show lack of confidence. You don't have to look timid. And I'm sorry, Jamie Gittins has looked more like Jamie Gittins a lot of times this season. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. And opposition players, they sense it. Once they look at you, you look like you're off it. You don't look like you're up for it. They're going to eat you on the pitch. They're going to take your dinner, take your lunch money on the pitch. So that's why for me, Garnacho should start. And then if Chelsea somehow, some way are 2-3 goals ahead, 15 minutes to go, you need someone to run in behind that high line that would now be even higher, then Jamie Gittins should come in. So this would be my starting 11. Obviously subject to injuries and all that. Cucurella must start. Apparently there's an interview where he was reported to have said he told Estevao William to wear shin pads because he was preparing for Lamine Yamal. That would be an interesting battle. So Cucurella, first name on the team sheet for me at that left back spot. Centre back pairing, I would go with Josh Archimpong actually, because this is a game that will suit him. I'll go with Josh and I'll go West Fofana, but we all know probably it's going to be Chalobah and Tosin. But let's see how that shakes down. At right back, I'll go Reece James because he can go both ways and he's the better of the fullbacks in playing that midfield role. I'm not really a fan of it, but that's how João wants to play. And then goalkeeper, of course, Robert Sanchez. He's been fairly decent this season, Robert Sanchez, and honestly, Philip Jorgensen hasn't given me any reason for him to start ahead of Robert Sanchez. The opportunities he's had from last season, he's been I'll say awful. It's not been that great. Then midfield, of course, that's why you raise Caicedo. So Caicedo and Enzo start in midfield for me, and then right wing, I'll go Estevao. Let's see if he even starts, because Maresca has been trying to act like he's protecting him and playing Pedro Neto, so Pedro Neto may start. But for me, I'll go with Estevao. Want to see that pace, want to see that trickery right off the bat, want to excite the Stamford Bridge crowd from the first blast of the whistle. And then in that number 9 position, for me, I would just go with Liam Delap. This is the kind of game that will suit Liam Delap. This is the game, because now technically João Pedro is the better player. But when it comes to someone who's willing to run the channels, who's willing to batter defenders, who is better at that, who is best at that, I would say is Liam Delap. And if Barcelona, and of course I know they will, because I think Hansi Flick falls into that category of managers that are like, oh, this is where I'm going to play, whether I'm going to ship 20 goals or I'm going to win by 15 goals, this is the way we want to play. So he's not going to play the highlight in a way. So Liam Delap for me would be my starting striker, because he'll run the channels, he'll run in behind, he'll make life difficult for whoever the centre back pairing for Barcelona would be. And so that's what I'll go with. And then on the left hand side, I'll go with Garnacho. He's got the pace, he's got the trickery, he's got the attitude, which is super important. People don't get it. For wingers, you have to be wired a bit differently. So Gittins for me will come off the bench. Well, let's see how it goes. Maybe, who knows, Estevao could be on the right and Pedro Neto could be on the left. Let's see, but I'll go with Garnacho and the 10 row. If Palmer is indeed fit, then I would have him play the 10 row behind Liam Delap. So I'm going to 11 score prediction. Oh well, I'll go with a 2-0 victory for Chelsea. But it could very well be an absolute disaster. But I'm confident Chelsea. This is a game Chelsea can win. This is a game that is primed for the strengths of Chelsea. Pace to go in behind, passing range from Enzo, passing from Cole Palmer, his touch, his trickery, his ability on the ball. This is a game that set for Chelsea to thrive. So let's see how it shakes down. So I'll be back after the game for the review and reaction to the match. So at this point, I've come to the end of the video, and I'll see you all in the video. Stay well, stay blessed. Bye bye.